Everyone. Lewis Cole Music, awesome. This is so cool to be able to talk to you. This is
Yeah,
so
man. Thanks for having me.
yeah, heck yeah. I'm a huge fan. I
Oh,
guess
thanks.
I'm gonna start out with a staple quarantine question, but how's your quarantine going?
It's good. It took me a while to adjust, and not because I have to change anything about my life, because I never really left my house anyway, but just like a mental adjustment, kind of
Right.
because like everyone is going through something, and some people are really hit hard by the whole situation. So it just all I wanted to do for a while was like read articles and I still like I still like to know what's going on, but now I'm kind
Yeah.
of back into like a creative zone. So
Dude,
I've just been
awesome.
writing a lot of stuff.
Nice. That's so sick. We'll get into that a little bit later. I just want to start by saying, like, I've been watching your YouTube videos and listening to your music for a few years now, and I'm like
Thanks.
a huge fan of everything you do. In honor of this interview, I played some of your songs yesterday on my radio show. So a lot of
Oh,
people
cool.
out and they were like, "Who is this guy? Like, he's so good." So yeah. Anyway, so I guess let's start with a good little warmer upper.
Hmm.
When did you start learning how to read and play music? I mean, you seem like pretty savvy at all instruments. Like, which instrument did you start out with? Was it drums?
Yeah, drums. And that's nice that you assume that I can read music.
Oh, read.
I, I can kind of read music. Theory was never my strong thing.
Yeah, I get you.
But I can, yeah, I know it enough to where I can like make an arrangement and like write music and stuff, but reading it takes me a while. But I don't know. I started, I guess, when I was really young. I used to like just take my mom's like cookware, like pots and pans, and just like
Yeah,
start like slamming on them with spoons and stuff. And
dude, that's awesome.
my parents were like, okay,
They're like,
let's.
he is a musical. He's a musical kid. That's what's
Yeah, I mean, it probably didn't sound good, but they got me like one drum at a time. I think I got like a bongo and a cardboard box at first, and then they were like, okay, if you're serious about it, we'll get you a snare drum. And
nice.
it just happened like that. For a while, my drum set was like a cardboard box bass drum with no pedal. I don't even remember how that worked really, but and then there was a snare drum and like a one of those, like when you get like those subscription water things where they bring a, like Sparklets brings like a,
Like
a
the
bottle every month or whatever, and it's huge. He was like one of those too, I think.
man, that's like old school. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if anyone does that. Do people still do that?
I
I
don't
know.
know. The
So,
Sparklets truck drove by my house like 2 months ago.
damn, they're
That's
still
all
at
the
it.
info I got.
Well, that's awesome. Are you influenced like musically by your family at all? I mean, I'm just mostly asking because of that
Yeah.
hilarious video you just posted of your uncle's song.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what a gem! Like, that's
Yeah.
rad.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you saw that. Yeah, my two biggest influences are my dad and my uncle. Um, and my dad is a really great jazz pianist, and he does. I mean, that's not his profession. He was a doctor, like an emergency room doctor, but he would just
Oh man,
his favorite thing to do was like play piano and actually trumpet too. He's just like a major um, influence. Probably definitely the biggest influence for me, just because he would always be playing jazz or classical or whatever on the piano all the time, and there's no way it didn't have a major effect on my
yeah, sure,
0-year-old brain.
yeah, like all this music, like all the time. That's super.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
know
then
that.
my uncle just he would get like these little keyboards from like Radio Shack and just like record just whatever he wanted
Just
on them,
like
and
little.
just
Oh my god, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah, and just the freedom and creativity of that. Like his brain, he's one of the greatest, funniest, coolest, most creative brains I know. So I was really lucky to have family members like that.
That's really awesome to hear. Yeah, that
Yeah,
video was just that was excellent. I was like,
yeah,
this is top notch.
yeah.
Curious because you kind of play like over time. How like did you just start learning how to play like everything? I don't know because you're
Um,
so like you're savvy with so many instruments. Like, is there anything you don't play that you'd
oh
like
man,
learn or
that's
something?
yeah, and no wind instruments at all.
Yeah.
Actually, I had one of those plastic trumpets that you get at like
Oh
soccer
yeah.
games.
Oh my
I could
God.
actually play a really loud note on that, but that's the only
Hey, that's
experience I have. No, but as far as like as far as instruments, I I kind of I know like a couple songs. Like for example, like I can play drums. I feel like that's my instrument.
right.
Singing, I'm really trying to work on. Like if you hear me
You're
sing
so
live, I'm gonna
man.
hit some really bad notes, and so when I sing something that I'm recording, I make sure to do like 500 takes so that I have a good take. You know, and as far as playing keyboard, like I can't remember my own chords. So when I have to learn one of my own songs, you know, I can get the timing right. That part feels all right because it's like playing drums on the keyboard or something. But as
Yeah.
far as remembering chords, like I really suck at that. So you know, I don't know. I feel like
Hey, no one.
I can play keyboard and that's what I write on, but it's you couldn't call me to play someone else's music or anything. Like I can't do that.
Well, I was just wondering because like I can't tell. You're like
Oh yeah.
I don't know. You just have a knack for it, and that's it. Really shows through in like all your music and like all,
I think it's probably because if I have to record one of my own songs or play it live or something, like I practice it for like a week
right.
straight.
Yeah, that's the way to go. So I
Yeah.
guess, when did you start to really compose more like full-fledged original songs? Like did it start as more like jams and like cool little things that you came up with and then you just like built off of it? Or like when did that really start to happen in your life?
That's a good question. Um, I think sometime in my early 20s, probably, I was like, I don't know, I used to just record these like little four chord, or actually a lot of them were like I don't know, really weird songs, just little cells that would
Just
repeat
like
over
little
and over
goofy
and over
things.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I have like 5 CDs worth of that crap.
Oh my God,
So
that's
maybe
awesome.
someday I'll release it. Yeah.
That'd be kind
When
of
I
awesome. Yeah.
when I was like a you know age 12 to 16 or whatever, and then I don't know, just after a while, I guess I listened to enough jazz. Like I was really into Miles Davis when I was like a teenager and Tony Williams,
For
and I
sure.
think probably listening to enough of their like really extended kind of like
Yeah.
music. I don't know. I guess at some point I was like, I'm gonna just write more songs with like actual sections and more than one section, and then I don't know. It kind of exploded after that. And sometimes now when I write, I feel like I'll write like 1,000 bars, and then I'll take something that sounds like a verse, something that sounds like a B section, and then something that sounds like a chorus, and I'll just kind of like copy and paste them together,
Right.
and then it leads to these songs that have like a bunch of sections in them. So I don't know.
That's cool though. I could totally see that with the like Miles Davis influence with
Oh
the
yeah,
like long like extended jam tracks that he did too. Like that's really
yeah.
cool. So I guess I don't know, as far as like YouTube goes, when you started making videos, did you really expect like to gain as much momentum as you did? Like with
No.
people? No. It was just like putting things out there to begin.
Well, that's a that's a kind of a good question because I guess somewhere in my mind I was like, I need to make money somehow, and I need this to work. It needs to happen. It will happen because it needs to, and I'm not gonna accept any other universal timeline or path where that doesn't happen. I
Nice.
knew it, but I just didn't expect it. Also, I was just like, I'm making music that's not necessarily popular or anything like that, but
Yeah.
eventually, like the first song that got big, or not big, but it got past a certain threshold of views where it was like, oh, okay, was my song Bank Account, which was like
Oh my God.
a minute and a half. And I just wanted to show people that I'd been practicing keyboard, this
Right.
one song on keyboard. And uh, somehow, I guess, I mean, I just like shit out the lyrics and they came out of nowhere. And that, I guess, was what kind of propelled it to reach more people. And I don't know, I didn't
Yeah.
expect anyone to uh to like that, or
That
to
happened.
watch it or share it or whatever.
So I guess like in this timeline, when did you meet Genevieve and start doing Nowhere like as a group?
um
Which I love you guys. You guys are
oh,
amazing.
thanks. That's probably like 2009. She just like showed me some like little tiny demos that she'd been working on, and then I was like, yeah. She just asked me if I wanted to work on something because we had played a gig together. I was playing drums and she was singing with our friend Robbie Marshall, and then she just asked me to like work on these things, and then it kind of just was a good flow, and then we like put out a cover in like 2010, and then
Nice.
just we did a bunch of covers for a while at first just to get like stuff out there, and then ever since that it's just kind of evolved into what it
Yeah.
is now.
I noticed that on your YouTube there's like the first gig that Nowhere had in like 2010 or something. And
Yeah.
like how did you guys start to like progress as a band after that gig? Did things just kind of start like naturally ramping up for you guys?
Yeah. Well, it took a long time of
Yeah,
stuff not ramping anywhere, but we were so in it. We were so passionate and we were just going as hard as possible and
I can tell. Yeah,
working,
it's
like
awesome.
12 hours a day on music. But it didn't really go anywhere. It's like the slowest burn ever
Yeah,
for that. We had one video, Overtime, where we played with the live band in a house, and
yes,
that kind of was like, that was
those
like
videos.
a bump in,
Yeah, those session videos are really great.
oh,
And
thanks.
and I guess this kind of segues into the next thing I want to talk about. But all the videos that you make, like with Nowhere, like with your own solo music and beyond, like I love what you guys did, especially like with the projections and the visuals in your music videos. Like I don't know, like a great example of it that I love is the music video for The Government Knows, which is like
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite video like on the internet, I think. And like
Yeah.
what are your like favorite things to play around with when you like make visuals and projections for gigs or like just for fun? Because I love it so much. It's the
Oh,
best.
thanks. Yeah, yeah, that we put a lot of work into those projections, and I think we started. Well, I guess because you mentioned that 2010 video, I guess we started then, but that's like real simple stuff. It's basically like text and like colored
Yeah, the text.
squares.
Yeah.
But after that, we saw a Skrillex show in 2012, and then
Oh yeah.
life was never the same after that. And we were just like, okay, it was that and Kraftwerk, this band from
Oh,
Germany
I
in
love
the
Kraftwerk.
80s or
Yeah,
70s or 80s, yeah.
that's
Uh,
awesome. I can see that.
but they have really cool, simple visuals too, and I think the two of those together, we were just like, okay, we need to do this because we want to, and it's just
Right.
there's no way we aren't going to do this.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know, we just learned from YouTube tutorials and just I don't know, downloaded some images at first, and then we eventually started like actually making our own 3D models and stuff. We got like deep into it.
I was about to say like I saw the like living room sesh that you guys did recently
Yeah.
like, last week, which was just like fire. Like
Oh,
all
thanks.
the like dancing skeletons and like
Yeah.
what was like the baby like kicking out of the
Yeah.
I was just like this is it. Like this is what's going on. How long
Yeah.
did it take to like make that and like sync it up and program that to what you're doing? Because like that was like it was a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
I love
That's a good question. I think the process is mostly like, so we'll have these songs. Like the music definitely comes first. That's our big thing by far. But so
definitely
once we have like the music set and like the arrangement and track or whatever we're doing live, then it's like we'll just come to the we'll just go with the first thing that comes into our heads. Like we need to see a dancing whatever skinless human here or something. It's just like we'll
right.
just go with that idea, but then we'll go hard with it. And uh, I don't know. Yes, some of the stuff like the skeletons are like if you go to YouTube and type in like green screen skeleton, you'll find like a dancing skeleton there. So that one we didn't like make from scratch. We took whatever skeleton was there, and then we kind of took like the favorite parts of it and looped it back and forth, and then like put color on the skeleton, and then
That's
like
a great quote out of context.
made through.
We just took the best skeleton we had. I love
Yeah,
it. That's super rad. Yeah, I love. Sorry, the sun's like glaring. The visuals like just make it for me. And I don't know, like, are you guys influenced at all by like Tron and stuff? Because
oh
they're
yeah, like the biggest. Yeah,
yeah.
that's one of the biggest influences. Tron and like 2001: Space Odyssey and Lawnmower
Oh
Man,
yes, that's
Super
so rad.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I love it. And also like props to your dance moves, to your coordinated dance moves.
Yeah,
That's always it's always a plus.
yeah,
So I guess before we chat about like a little bit of your solo music, I want to ask about some more like groups and musicians that you were involved with.
yeah.
So I mean, the big most recent one that everyone like pretty much knows about is Thundercat, and
Oh yeah,
yeah, you've worked on him with like a few things, and I know you were on his latest album, It Is What It Is, and I think
hmm
were you on Drunk too? Or,
yeah. I was.
and so I know you've worked with him before, and he worked with you on your album Time.
Yeah.
Super cool. How did you guys meet, and like when did you start to collaborate?
Um. Okay, I think we met through Dennis Ham, the keyboard player. Really great keyboard player. he showed, I think I don't know, maybe, I think he mentioned Thundercat's music to me at first, and then I checked it out, and I think he showed my music to Thundercat. So I think we owe
Yeah,
it to Dennis Ham that we
that's great.
met.
And
But
how'd you meet Dennis?
and also Austin Peralta, this other piano player. He's the first. He called me and Thundercat for a show one time, and then it was just like it was magic.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
And
it was really cool. But yeah, and then we started working. I think we were at the NAMM show one time, and then
oh
he
my
saw
God,
me and he was like, "You should come over later this week." It was like January 2014.
just like out of nowhere, just like
Yeah, I just saw him because
good.
we had talked and played once, and it was we loved each other's music and stuff. But I think that was the point where he was like, "Hey, come over to my house like next week, and we'll write or And then he just showed me like a million tracks that he was working on, and then gave me two tracks to just like on a flash drive, and I went home and just I don't know, that started to be the process. It's a lot of the times it's like we'll just send something to the other
Yeah,
person and then they'll email something back, and
yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I think he just seems like such a hilarious dude, and like
Yeah.
that you guys like you both have a very similar like sense of humor in some of your music too.
Hmm.
So I guess like a question for you, but is there anything like in particular like TV shows or comedians or just like something I don't know that has helped develop like that sense of humor with you like in some of your music as well?
Yeah, probably my family.
Yeah,
They're all funny.
like your uncle. Yeah,
Yeah, my uncle,
yeah,
but
I can
even
see
like
that.
my mom, my dad, and my sister are all insanely funny. It's crazy. Um,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm definitely the least funny one, probably, but
No way.
so I was lucky to be around that they they're just always trying to make jokes about everything, and they're all smart, and especially my sister. My sister's just like on another level.
That's so rad. Oh my
And I also
God.
had a couple really funny friends, like this one guy, David Malloy. He like just and changed my life. Just the way certain funny people think about things. They're super aware of everything. They're always aware of what's going on. They observe it, and then they have their own take on it. And it's just like it makes you think differently. It kind of
Yeah.
opened my mind.
Yeah, very true. I know. I totally agree. And it's like I don't know, it was just a very like specific sense of humor. It's kind of like hard to describe, so that's why I was just wondering.
Yeah,
Um so another group that you were in, and I just discovered this recently, but you and Genevieve were also involved with Snarky Puppy in
yeah,
Family Volume 2, which is like one of my favorite like newer Snarky Puppy like collective like collaborative albums.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I didn't even know you guys were in that song. I remember, and then I went back and I was like, wait a minute, like that's the Knower. It was really cool.
yeah.
But do you remember how that came to be too? Because I don't know. For me, it seems like all these connections, like I don't know, like they're all linked. Like once you get out there, I
Hmm.
don't like what you were saying with Thundercat, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of interesting that like a lot of times I've noticed like a lot of my favorite musicians from back in the years, they a lot of times they would work together. Like even Miles Davis and Jimi Hendrix were going to work together.
yeah. Whoa, yeah,
That never happened, but that always blew my mind hearing that. But yeah, anyway, the Snarky Puppy thing. One of the guys in the band, Justin Stanton, he really liked Knower, so he kind of just made it happen. I guess when they were asking, or when they were finding artists to be on the album, I think Justin probably said we should get these guys.
that's so cool. Yeah, I know it's just so cool to me because I mean there are like tons of other things you've been involved with, but like I don't know, it's just so cool how that just kind of develops and like people really do recognize you like in your like excellent musicianship and they're like this guy and
Oh, cool.
it's really cool to see. So
Oh,
lastly,
nice.
I want to ask about your solo music, which
Yeah.
is incredible, and especially from your album Time, which is from 2018. So I noticed that like that woven throughout the album, there are a lot of themes about, of course, well, time and like being
Hmm.
alone and these kind of like stream of conscious things like at nighttime. And it's so cool. Like you balance elements of humor in certain songs and some also like really sincere like looks in your like creative process, like in the whole album. Like I love it's so cool. Like there's like a song like Last Time You Went Away followed by this song like Freaky Times, you know,
Hmm.
like it's just such like a juxtaposition and it's really cool. So for that album specifically, like did you write with a particular theme in mind or did it just kind of happen naturally?
No, I just I would just go one song at a time. It was never like a concept really. It was just like,
Yeah.
what do I want to nail in this song? So I just go one song at a time, and I have a lot of different interests. Musically, I like a lot of different kind of stuff. So I think that's
Yeah.
probably why there's a wide range of different uh, styles in the music. And I actually like that. I like sometimes there'll be albums where there'll be different styles on
Yeah.
the
No.
album, or just different
Yeah.
feelings or different vibes on
Yeah.
the album. And I always liked that variety. So um, I never tried to avoid that. I just try to go for whatever the song vibe needs, and I try to nail that, and then I'll just put them all together on one album.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. It's really cool. Like they're like all those like kind of opposite, like opposing things. Like I don't know. For me, like especially with your more like I guess sincere songs, um like Last Time You Went Away and like Things especially, those
Uh,
lyrics and those melodies are just so beautiful.
Thank you.
And then you bop out to a song like When You're Ugly, and it's just like super like bump bump bump, and you're like bumping to it. Um,
That's cool.
I guess just as far as your songwriting process goes in general, do you usually start with a progression and like build lyrics onto it? Like, do you? It seems like do you usually just start by like jamming something?
Yeah, yeah. Usually it's instrumental, and a lot of times it starts with the drums, just because it's easier. It's just a process wise, it's easier because I'll just record drums, and then they'll just be there in the computer session,
Yeah.
and then I'll just write chords and bass lines and grooves to that. And yeah, it's usually lyrics are the last thing to
Hmm.
happen. Sometimes it'll be the first thing you think of, but like especially lately, I think probably right now I have like an album and a half worth of instrumentals that are done and ready to go, but I just
Oh,
can't
that's
write.
so cool.
I can't write any lyrics right now just because of what's going on in the world. I just like I don't really want to sing about it because it's like you're
Yeah.
already getting enough coverage from everything. You don't
Yeah,
need
for
my
sure.
viewpoint on it, but at the same time, I can't really think of anything else to think about or say really. So I'm just kind of letting that just have space for a while. And
So I guess as far as like writing lyrics goes, I mean, like like you say in the song, like in the weird part of the night, like you sing about how your like big ideas like come at the nighttime. Like,
mhm.
does most of your inspiration like hit you at the nighttime? Like when you're kind of, I don't know. For me, it reminds me of like pulling like an all nighter, I don't know, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
totally. Yeah, it is that. Um, I think I go to bed at 6 or 7 a.m. every day, so
Wow.
I'm in that zone pretty much every day, um, or pretty much every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I don't know. I forgot. I had an idea and then I lost it.
Oh man. Maybe it'll come back.
That
I
happens
don't
to
know.
me all the time.
Yeah, it happens. It's fine. You know what? It's okay. But for like, it's just really cool to me. Like, I was wondering if there was like a theme structured around it or something. Because to me, like, it reminds me of like being all alone in your bedroom, kind of like trapped in your thoughts and like going through this like roller coaster of like crazy, like weird thoughts and like kind of like feeling really like emotional or like sappy or
Yeah,
what. And so, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't know, whenever I listen to it and I'm like, I don't know if I am pulling an all nighter or something, I'm like, I feel like I go through like each of these things, you know?
yeah. Well,
So,
that's cool. You mentioned that. Definitely late night when the whole world is kind of quiet and there's just this sense of space. There's something about emotions that they, for me at least, they really come out during that time. Like
yeah,
just emotional thoughts. You're in touch with them. You're close with them,
no, for
and I
sure.
think that's kind of big. I think I really like that part of it.
Yeah, it's really great. And how long did this whole album like take for you to put together?
I think I started in 2016, like early, and then I was done by the end of 2018. So it was like 2.5 years.
Yeah. And did Brain Feeder pick that record up, or did they pick up your like previous albums at all?
No, they started with that one. Yeah, that
They
was the
did.
first one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And how did that happen?
Again, that was Dennis Ham, the keyboard
Nice.
guy. He
Good
uh he
question.
he he showed my music to Flying Lotus, and then Flying Lotus was
Whoa.
like, "All right, I'll keep that in mind." And
That's
then
so crazy, man.
yeah,
It's all like linked. That's crazy.
yeah,
What a cool
it's
time.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So I have a few more questions. That
Sure,
was
go
really
ahead.
here just because like listening to that album all the way through, like you can tell it's just very like musically intricate and a lot of thought went into it. So thank you for sharing that. Really, really
Oh,
cool.
thanks.
So this is a fun one. So look back and think like you've been on tours like many times with like different people. You've like done so many cool things musically. Is there like a highlight, like a really fun time from a show or a tour that you did? It could be like with just you or with Knower or someone. It could be something like funny that happened or something like really cool that happened. I like hearing these stories. They're fun.
Yeah, I should be ready with these kind of things. I can't remember anything.
I know it's hard to go back and, figure it out sometimes,
There's
but
a lot of fun stuff. One time we like these these really cool people in Dublin were like, we're gonna get a party bus and just get on it and we're gonna go to this party, and we didn't know where it was, and I think it was the entire Knower band. There was like 5 of us, and we all fell asleep on the bus, or at least a few of us. I definitely fell asleep. And when I woke up, we were like in a castle.
Whoa,
That
what?
was kind of cool.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Um, there's a lot more. I can't even remember. That feels like a different life right
Yeah, no,
now.
like what's happening? Like it's like we're frozen in time right now. It's
Yeah.
like yeah, that's
It's a
crazy.
new era. I should be ready though with these kind of things. There's a lot of cool stuff that happened
Oh
that
man.
I
Oh
can't
yeah,
remember.
that's pretty cool though. Like tour bus, you're sleeping, and then suddenly you're in a castle. It's like whoa, what's
Yeah.
going on? So you're working on music during quarantine. Are you working on anything like else creatively? Like it could be like something like artistic. I don't know. Could becoming like a corn dog lord. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking about corn dogs a lot lately for some reason. I think I saw a video of someone eating corn dogs. It was like a ASMR thing. Is that
Oh,
what it's called?
delicious.
And it was
Oh,
kind of, it was weird, but I
I-
couldn't stop. Like I couldn't turn it off because I was so confused about like what I was supposed to feel from it. But it was just like it was so engaging for some
it's
reason.
just there and engaging. Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
hilarious.
It's like super close mic'd corn dog eating. It was really weird.
Hey, that might be
But
a good sample for your next album. Who knows?
yeah, yeah, it is crazy. It's yeah, it's like a weird genre niche kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been working on a lot of stuff. Actually, I'll say here, this is kind of like not known really. We said this on one other interview, but um, Nowhere actually had like the all of last year, basically, or most of last year. I was writing just a ton for Nowhere stuff, and then Genevieve started writing too, and we actually have this entire album of
Oh,
probably like 14 songs that are all it's all done, it's all written, but
God,
it's
sick.
gonna be recorded with live musicians, and we actually had like 60 live musicians like ready and like
Oh
scheduled and
my
ready to
God,
record. Yeah,
that's
and
rad.
because of the whole thing, we couldn't be in a room with people,
Right.
so we had to postpone that.
Yeah, but it's there. That's so dope.
Yeah,
I
it's ready to be recorded, and it's everyone has the music, they're like learning it, and it's ready, but it's and we have like guys, international people, so I don't know when it'll be recorded.
Yeah, like when to figure it out at that time. That's cool though
Yeah.
to know that that's done and it's like, when things are loosened up a little bit more, like that's ready to go. That's so awesome. I'm like really looking forward to that. That's awesome.
Yeah, me
Woo.
too.
So uh, I'm mostly just asking for myself, but I also like a lot of my friends who like basically tuned into the interview and like saw like us promote it and stuff were like, oh my God, like Lewis Cole is like such a shredder. Like he's just such an awesome musician. Like your musicality is incredible. You're everything's there as a musician, and I don't know. Um, like everyone who I've talked to who like knows you is like, I want to be on that level as a musician. Um,
Oh wow.
have you ever considered like teaching at like an online workshop or something? Um,
Yeah, yeah, maybe
that'd be
I'd be
awesome.
open to that. The thing is I have so much writing that I need to do. I always feel like I wake up every day kind of like anxious and hard on myself, like I'm behind, like because I have so many ideas that I want to write, and it just
Man,
like takes time to actually get them done. So it's like it's kind of hard for me to maybe make time to do a lot of that, but I'm definitely open to doing that.
that's
I
really
was thinking about recording just some like drum beats and maybe like playing them slow and even writing them out, just in case anybody wanted to
that'd be super cool. Yeah.
see those.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because like that would I don't know, I would really love that and like a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
people would really dig it. Um,
cool.
so yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new music too.
Oh thanks.
I don't know, as for me, I think I might do a flash mob to When You're Ugly and do that
Oh
whole
yeah,
video. and like the bare streets of San Francisco.
If
So,
you do that, yeah, make sure to document that.
oh, totally, totally. Well, that just about wraps everything up. But I mean,
Cool.
there like, of course, there's so many more questions for you. Like, you've done so many amazing things, and you're just gonna keep doing amazing things. So,
Thanks.
thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. Super, super
Yeah.
cool. I hope you're doing well over there. It seems like everything's going pretty
All
well.
right. I'm personally really fine. I feel really lucky because I know not everyone's doing well through this, and we'll probably see the effects of that for years to come, which is pretty
Hmm.
gnarly. But
Yeah,
I feel really lucky. I'm able to keep creating, keep doing what I love, and I haven't been messed with, through this, and I'm really thankful for that.
yeah,
I
for
hope I want to look for more ways to help people, and I think I'll kind of know as this thing pans out
definitely
what are the best ways to help people.
dig it.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. This means a lot to me.
yeah. Thank you for
That we're
having me.
do. Yeah, hell yeah. To take care. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
you too, for real.
Rock on, fam.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up our interview. I know that like everyone was like sending in questions and stuff, and I'm so sorry we don't have time to answer them. There's so much to take away from Lewis Cole. Such an awesome guy.